Picture this. You're staring at a pasta menu, hungry, impatient, and suddenly faced with an existential crisis. Spaghetti, linguini, fettuccine, they all look like long noodles. They all come with sauce. And yet, Italians would insist they're very different things. So today we're untangling the truth behind three of the most famous pasta shapes on Earth. Where they came from, why they exist, and which sauce they secretly prefer. Because pasta isn't just food. It's history, culture, engineering, and honestly, edible geometry. Stay with us, because by the end of this episode, you'll never look at a bowl of noodles the same way again, right here, on History of Simple Things. Before we compare spaghetti, linguini, and fettuccine, we need to understand a secret Italians know. Pasta shapes are not random. Every shape was invented for a purpose. Some are designed to trap thick sauces, others to cling to oil, and others to survive boiling without falling apart. Long pasta, like the three we're discussing today, is called pasta lunga. It evolved because long strands are easy to dry, store, and cook evenly. But the width, thickness, and texture of each strand changed how sauce behaves. And that's where spaghetti, linguini, and fettuccine split into three personalities. Let's start with the most famous pasta on Earth, spaghetti. The word comes from spago, meaning string in Italian. Spaghetti literally means little strings. It is thin, round, and smooth. Imagine a shoelace, but edible. Spaghetti likely evolved in southern Italy, especially in Naples, where durum wheat and drying pasta in sea breezes were common. Long, thin pasta was perfect for drying on racks in the sun, making it easy to store for months. That's one reason spaghetti spread globally. It traveled well before refrigeration existed. Because it's thin and round, spaghetti pairs best with light to medium sauces. Tomato-based sauces, olive oil with garlic, seafood sauces, or carbonara coat it beautifully. Heavy sauces, on the other hand, tend to slide off, making spaghetti less ideal for creamy or chunky dishes. Spaghetti became a global icon thanks to Italian immigrants in the 19th and 20th centuries. It was cheap, filling, and easy to cook, perfect for working-class families. Then Hollywood, Lady and the Tramp, and the infamous spaghetti slurp scene cemented its place in pop culture. Today, spaghetti is basically the world's default pasta, but in Italy, it's just one of hundreds of shapes. Next up, linguini. The name comes from lingua, meaning tongue. Linguine literally means little tongues, and Italians can be poetic like that. Linguine is flat but narrow. Imagine spaghetti that got squished slightly. It's wider than spaghetti, but thinner than fettuccine, giving it a unique personality, flexible like spaghetti, but with a flat surface like ribbon pasta. Linguini originated in Liguria, a coastal region in northwestern Italy, home of pesto. The connection isn't a coincidence. Because it is flat, linguine holds sauce better than spaghetti, but its narrow width keeps it elegant and light. Classic pairings include pesto, clam sauces, light cream sauces, or seafood-based sauces. Flat pasta grips sauce, while narrow width keeps it delicate, which is why linguine is often considered the refined cousin of spaghetti. In restaurants, linguine and spaghetti often look almost identical once sauced. But chefs notice the difference immediately because linguine has more bite and surface area. It's subtle, but in Italy, subtlety is everything. Finally, the heavyweight, fettuccine. The name comes from fettuccia, meaning little ribbon. That's exactly what it looks like, long, wide ribbons of pasta. If spaghetti is string and linguine is a flattened string, fettuccine is a ribbon belt. Fettuccine comes from central Italy, especially Rome. This region favored rich, dairy-based sauces, so they needed a pasta that could carry heavy loads. Fettuccine shines with thick, creamy, or chunky sauces like Alfredo, mushroom sauces, or a hearty meat ragu. The wide surface traps sauce like a sponge, delivering maximum flavor in every bite. Because fettuccine is wide and luxurious, it became associated with restaurants and fancy Italian dinners. Alfredo sauce especially popularized it in the US, even though classic Italians rarely drown pasta in cream. Nevertheless, fettuccine remains the comfort food king. So why didn't Italy just invent one noodle and stop? Because pasta is engineering. Different shapes evolved based on local ingredients, available tools, climate for drying, and traditional sauces. Flat pasta requires rolling, round pasta requires extrusion. Some shapes were handmade by grandmothers while others needed bronze dies. Each shape solves a different culinary problem. Thin pasta works for light sauces. Flat pasta holds creamy sauces, and ridge pasta grabs chunky sauces. Pasta, in other words, is edible architecture designed for maximum culinary efficiency. Beyond sauce, each pasta shape feels different in your mouth. Spaghetti feels light, slippery, and delicate. Linguine has a slightly chewier texture and more grip. Fettuccine feels substantial, filling, and luxurious. Your brain literally experiences them differently, even if all three are made from the same ingredients. Outside Italy, people often use these pastas interchangeably. Spaghetti with Alfredo sauce? Italians might panic. Fettuccine with a light tomato sauce? They might quietly judge you. Linguine with everything? They might shrug but take mental notes. Pasta rules are flexible, but understanding the original intent elevates every bite. So, spaghetti versus linguine versus fettuccine, who wins? The truth is, they're not competing. They're specialized tools. Think of them like spoons, forks, and knives. Each exists for a reason. Next time you're in a grocery store or restaurant staring at a wall of pasta, remember that these noodles aren't just different shapes. They are centuries of tradition, geography, science, and culture twisted into delicious strands. Whether you prefer spaghetti's simplicity, linguine's elegance, or fettuccine's richness, you are literally tasting history. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.